Welcome to another episode of Fuck Your Job. I'm Ron Worley.
And I'm Josh Fullenweider.
Fuck your job.
Welcome to another episode of Fuck Your Job. I'm Ron Worley.
Josh Fullenweider.
And today, Josh, what's our topic?
Today we are talking about overcoming obstacles. So we put up a few things on the on the Facebook group, I guess, the other day of asking people what their biggest hang-ups were in their life, or what was preventing them from moving forward with a business. And so with that, there were time, money, having the right people, or having enough energy.
Yeah.
That was a big one. But what we didn't put up there, and what nobody said, but I think is really important, is fear.
Fear, that's a big one.
So
You want me to talk about fear?
go right ahead.
So I write about this too, Josh. Fear is like, it's in everybody's, it's DNA. It's in our DNA. We're supposed to be scared. Fight or flight is a real thing. But you notice that a lot of the police officers, firefighters, the first responders, people that fight in wars, like military, they all seem to be able to overcome that somehow, right? And at the end of the day, it's bravery. We look at it as bravery. Being brave to do something is something that you think that you just have. But bravery, truly, maybe 5% of America, of the world, maybe has true bravery where they just don't care about, they just...
Yeah. Well, and is it really bravery? Is it just they don't care?
They just don't care. I don't know. But most of us do not have bravery. Most of us have to think about it. Most of us have that fear inside of us. So to overcome that fear, you've got to get to a point, and if anybody's ever done any sort of hand-to-hand combat fighting, street fighting, I used to fight all the time as a kid.
I did too.
You're toe-to-toe with somebody, and it's that moment when you're about ready to go ahead and throw that first punch, and you're like, oh, is this going to happen? And then you just do. And then the fight's on. And then it's survival. And it's the same thing with business. You say, and I would call it the fuck it, try it method.
Right.
Just fuck it and try it and see what happens. And usually in our fight or flight mode, as we're fighting through it, you're going to come out with a pretty good result. Now, of course, you don't want to I'm going to try and be a lawyer today.
Right.
That's not how that works. You need to really do this research, study what the industry is that you're getting into. Everything we do as investors, you do a lot of research and are able to do podcasts and things, and you've learned a lot about the industries that you're in.
Right.
And that's key. Book smarts, being book smart and just getting that information is key. But you also need that street smart where you say, fuck it, try it. And we've done an episode on that.
Yeah.
But that's overcoming fear. You just have to jump off the cliff and try it.
So this guy gave me a tool for you to use, or for anybody to use, when it comes to dealing with fear. And he called it brinkmanship. Now, it's not true brinkmanship, but essentially what it is you go right to the edge of your comfort zone.
Yep.
And then you back off a little bit.
Yeah.
So with him, what he was getting at is he was talking about real estate investing. So he would say, okay, you're looking at buying just a single family home to get into real estate investing. So maybe it's you go look at a few houses. Okay, you're not comfortable buying it. You back up, do some more research. Next time you go look at a few houses and you put an offer in on one of them.
Okay.
Start with doesn't get accepted, you're off the hook. Next time you go out, look at a few houses, put a couple offers in, one of them gets accepted.
Yeah.
You freak out in the middle of it, you back up, you cancel the contract, that's fine. The next time you get through that, you get that offer put out there, you get through the fear, then you get to closing, and now all of a sudden you own it.
Right.
Now you're at the fuck it, try it. You own that shit.
You've got to do it.
So you've gone through the brinkmanship all the way to the point where you now have to perform. Put up or shut up.
I like it.
So it's a good way to get through those initial stages of fear, I think.
That's interesting you mentioned that, because that's sort of, it's back to that personality thing. Like, that's not how I operate at all. Like, it's 100% or no percent. And someone like, well, somebody like Aaron or you or people, bankers in general, probably really relate to
Yeah.
that method.
Yeah, it takes a long time, and I do a ton of research.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've done a ton of research on industries that I was trying to make loans on, just to understand how the industry worked.
Right.
So, yeah.
Which is super smart. Do what
But
he did.
it you know, that's what helps me get through that fear.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. So fear barrier, we should do content, we should do a lesson plan on fear.
we can do that.
Okay.
We'll,
We're going to do that.
we'll
for
create a course, how to overcome fear.
you. Yep. Sometime this year.
Yeah, sure. We don't have anything else going on.
Yeah. You don't.
So fear, I mean, that's the biggest one. Everything else is an excuse, but fear is the biggest one. But
Yeah.
now, if you're like, hey, I'm not afraid, I just strictly don't have time to
Right.
do this, what do you have to say to them?
So, look, I get it. Time equals energy, and I think for me, I never have time. So who am I going to hire to help me have time? Who am I going to partner with to help me have time? Other people have to do some of the work. So who is it that you trust that you can use to do some of this work to free up some of your time? A lot of times you can, maybe you're doing some dumb project where you sit down every week and you make a video and you put it on YouTube and it gets you nowhere. And maybe you can cut that out of your life for a while in order to do something else. There's things like that out there. But you want to keep adding things, not take one out, put one back in if you can help it. So,
Yeah.
Aaron always says, I don't have any time. You should stop doing these things because you can't see them through if you don't have the time. And the fact of the matter is when you partner with somebody that's got a little more time, they can do the work. Or if you hire somebody,
Right.
they can do the legwork. We have 2 assistants and they work for us and they do stuff so that we can have free time to do other things.
I always say it's not a time issue, it's a priority issue.
Sure.
What are you prioritizing?
You're so goddamn smart, dude.
So, well,
Come up with it.
No.
Where's-
So this comes from the fact that when Rebecca and I were in college, Rebecca got pregnant. We were already married, but Rebecca got pregnant unplanned while we were still in college. So we had a child. We had Ashla, our daughter. We both maintained full schedules at college, so we both were taking at least 15 credit hours a semester, plus summer schools, so we could get done with our degrees. She worked 60 hours a week at a restaurant, and I worked 60 hours a week across 3 different jobs. They start adding up where all that time was. There was no time left in
Right.
the day. We maximized every ounce of time in the
Right.
day, and we prioritized. Now you can't hire somebody to literally work for you. You go to work for
Right.
your job. That doesn't work like that. So we didn't have that option. We provided our own daycare too. My mom helped. She watched Ashla. She would come up Thursday night, watch Ashla Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and bring her back Sunday night. So over the weekends, we actually got jobs at each other's work. So Rebecca went from working 60 hours a week at one job to 60 plus another 10 at my job. So, because it was the only time we could see each other. And it didn't make sense for us not to maximize the time that Ashla was gone
Right.
with my mom and us not to be working that time. And you can't go to school on the weekends.
Right.
So, yeah. So people tell me that all the time, I don't have time. You have time.
Yep.
It's how you're spending your time.
Right.
Don't tell me you can't create time because I've done it.
Right. Yeah, think about all the times these people are on their phones doing nothing.
Yeah.
Well,
so while we were at school, or when the only time we had together as was when we were sleeping, and when we were at work together,
Yeah.
like at each other, working at the same job. Other than that,
how
we
could
did
you
not,
have time to have an Ashla when you don't have time?
because we So after she was born, there was a very long dry spell.
Okay.
It's like, is that what it's like? Does it go there?
Oh God! Oh God! Okay.
So, but you know, it was from the time we had Ashla, it was another year and a half before I graduated, and it took Rebecca about 2 years from that point. So
Damn.
it wasn't that long of a dry spell.
Does it go there?
So
God.
yeah, prioritize. Now, I will say it did cost me things. Prioritizing cost me friendships.
Oh yeah,
I didn't have time for them.
sure.
I never went out drinking. I never went out partying.
Right.
We didn't go snowboarding. We didn't, all the fun things we used to do or tried doing, we strictly did not have time for. It was school and work.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it.
Right. That's okay.
So,
Worked out.
yeah. Oh, and while we were doing that, so before I actually graduated, the summer I was taking summer school and then was graduating. That's when we bought our first investment property because we didn't have enough else to do, and I had to fix it up. So I then remodeled a house around all that too.
Oh, smart. Pretty easy.
Yeah, no big
No
deal.
wonder you weren't having sex. Dummy.
I think we were getting almost 4 hours of sleep a night.
Wow. Well, so and then what's the other one?
So that's time. That's the view on time. Money. What do you do if you don't have money?
That's a tough one. So people that have lots of time but don't have lots of money, those are good people to partner with.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm back to partnering with somebody that has money.
Yeah, that's your biggest thing.
Yeah.
Partner with somebody who's got money.
Because if you don't have money, you probably can't get a loan to do something. Unless your
you
character
can.
is hard.
I've gotten loans with very little money.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay.
So there's always a way. I'll never say there's not a way to do something.
Yeah.
There's always a way to do something. So, you know, if you need a loan, there's a way to get a loan.
So Aaron and I opened up the first Max Muscle store in 2010, and we were at the height of the recession, and banks were not loaning money at all. We ended up having to borrow from my parents' line of credit on their house, and that's how we got the first store open, and we hurried up and paid that back as fast as we could. But you know, we didn't have any money. I think I had like 30 grand in the bank, and that was enough to get the franchise fee. But we needed a couple $100,000 more to get it going, and so we just invited the parents to come along to one of the meetings and showed them what was up. And
Yeah.
you know, and I've asked uncles and been, you know, my uncle, I asked him. He's had millions of dollars for lots of years now, and he couldn't give me money because he didn't trust the system. What we were doing was buying stores that were broken and
Right.
making them better, so and then reselling them. So he didn't like that, I don't think, but it all worked out for us. At the end of the day, you can also, if you don't have money, you can look at seller financing,
Yeah.
buy something used. I mean, I don't know, everybody's seller finances these days. So there's actually a market, like good money in it.
There's a ton of money in seller financing.
Yeah.
We could go into a whole nother episode on that.
There you go. Next time.
Yeah. There's so many ways to structure it too. It's amazing. Sorry.
Off topic.
Totally off topic. If you need ideas on how to get money, reach out to us. We'll help you with ideas.
There is a coaching idea. There you go.
Yeah. There's another course idea too.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, we're coming up with this shit on the fly.
Yeah.
Okay, energy.
Energy. What do you do if you're tired all the time?
Oh, then you're not. I don't know. I almost say tough titty. You know,
You're not doing the right things.
Right. I don't know. If you're tired all the time, maybe your job is taking a toll on you. I don't know.
Then you definitely need to change it up.
Right.
If you're tired all the time, you need to do something else.
That's probably something with your life that needs to change. Not,
Yeah.
you know, the energy to do it. At some point, your mind has more willpower than your body. You were on 4 hours of sleep, not having sex for many years, and you still got up every day and did it again.
Yeah.
The willpower, your mind over matter.
Yeah.
So-
the energy is related to motivation. And if you're motivated, if you know where you want to go and you want to get there, it doesn't matter what's in the way. I mean, if you've got the energy, if you can come up with the energy, you can solve all the other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And by the way, I say it again, your freaking smart. You just related those motivation and
Oh.
energy. So, and you know what? Let's put it this way. Are you motivated to go out every Friday night and drink beer and hang out with your buddies? If you are, maybe you're not cut out to own your own business.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you have no weekends when you're own your own business. You're on the go.
Yeah. Well, and it's the prioritizing thing also. If you, and don't get me wrong, I like going out and hanging out with people. I liked going out and having a beer here and there with friends. That was nice.
Yeah.
What I prefer now is to go grab a cup of coffee with somebody and have a business discussion. You know, we've gone and had coffee several times just to shoot the shit. And
Yep. I think that's how we built our trust.
Yeah.
And by the way, go to Atlas Nutrition and get Emerge. I had one right before this episode, and I am flying so
It's
high.
amazing.
I'm happy as hell.
Shout out to Atlas Nutrition.
Yeah, get some. All right. And what's our last one? Was that it?
Last one is people.
Well, I don't understand that one. So tell me what.
So a people obstacle to me is this one is the people in your life that say you can't do it.
Oh, jeez. The naysayers.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
So there was a period in my life when I used to listen to them. Mm-hmm. But that was more of, again, it's a life problem. You got to fix your self-esteem before you can.
Yeah.
You know, confidence is everything when you're starting your own business. And the 3 P's of confidence: perseverance, practice, and preparation. Mm-hmm. If you do those 3 P's, everybody else can fuck off.
Yeah. So I got a great story about this. Rebecca and I were about to invest in our second rental property. So, she was doing something at work with this, and this guy one of her coworkers comes up and starts asking her questions about it because he had heard it. And not that we were advertising that we were doing this, but so and then he starts giving her advice. Well, that's a terrible idea. First of all, this guy's maybe a couple years older than we were at this time. So he's 25, 26 years old. And he's saying, oh, you shouldn't invest in real estate. That you'll never make it back. You see the market now, because this was 2009. The market's terrible. You shouldn't invest in real estate. Giving us all this advice about why we shouldn't do it.
Sure.
So Rebecca comes home and she tells me this story. I'm like, well, what'd you say? She's like, I asked him how many homes he owned. He didn't own a single home. He was a renter. I'm like, well, did you tell him how many that we already own a rental property at this point, and we own our own home that we, rent out the basement of?
Yeah.
She's like, nah, it just wasn't worth that. I think we never really talked to that guy after that.
Yeah, well, and in other words, consider the source. So how successful is the person that's naysaying? Usually naysayers are not very successful in my opinion.
You ever heard of crab mentality?
No.
So crabs, you never cook a single or put one crab in a pot by itself because it'll climb out.
Oh, okay.
Or try to climb out. However, you put several in there. Now they can actually climb on top of each other and get out easier, except they pull each other back down.
Oh.
So crab mentality is all the people that are struggling to get in this bottom don't want to see anybody else succeed.
That's interesting.
So they pull you back down.
Damn, crabs are ruthless, man.
Yeah.
Fuck you, I'm dying
So you throw a bunch in a pot together. I don't know. I've never done it. This is just what I've been told.
So don't be a crab. Get the hell out of the pot. And don't look back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it sucks. You lose friends.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean,
There's better friends out there.
Yeah, between death and crabs, I mean.
Not those type of crabs.
Yeah. So I think you handled people. Again, you're very smart, Josh.
All right.
Oh,
I just remember everything.
And was that our last one?
That's all we've got for obstacles.
All right. So we're gonna do lesson plans on all these someday.
Yeah.
Maybe
when we have time.
Yeah. Around all the shit you do.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
So if you guys have questions or you're really struggling with one of these, reach out to us. Happy to walk you through some ways to help with these things. So
let's break them down for you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Peace out.
Join us on Facebook at The Jobless Legion or subscribe to our YouTube channel and like, comment, and share
so that we can get the message out to aspiring entrepreneurs just like you.
Thank you.